Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's about 5:35, so why don't we call the meeting of the Downtown Redevelopment Subcommittee to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Chairman Milanazzo.
Here.
Counsel Leahy.
Here.
Counsel Rourke. Two present.
Thank you. Also in the audience this evening we have Counsel Mercier, Counsel Leary, Counsel Samaras, and Counsel Elliott, along with Kevin Murphy and members of his administration. We're here this evening as a result of a motion by Counsel Elliott. City Council requests City Manager to look into There's a Better Way program to help address panhandling and homelessness issues in the city. I did make a copy of what Counsel Elliott had sent to us that evening for the members of the subcommittee, but as I understand it and going through it, it's something that we'll certainly look at and consider. But the city manager and his team, they have a presentation that they would like to present to the subcommittee and the members of the city council. So I will, if it's okay with my colleague, I'll turn it over to City Manager Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've been meeting for the last several months with the Panhandling Commission by vote of this city council, and trying to come up with ways to deal with the troublesome issue of panhandling in the city. And we've been fortunate to have a wonderful intern from UMass Lowell, Ashley Hilson, who has done a lot of research along with Heather Varney to research the panhandling issue and how we could address the issue and make it better, not only for the city, but for the panhandlers. And Ashley has come up with this presentation, which I think is terrific. We gave you the Classics Illustrated version at the City Council meeting. This is a more in-depth presentation for this subcommittee and the people at home. And then at the end, we also looked into There's a Better Way program, which is a very good program in Albuquerque, New Mexico. You'll see that, fortunately, our proposal includes a lot of the same proposals in the Albuquerque, New Mexico, and at the end of our presentation, we'll discuss what those are and how they're incorporated. So at this time, I'd like Ashley Hilson, who works for Rodney Conley in the Stat Department, to do that presentation. We also have Michael Carlson from the Law Department, just in case there were any questions about the legality of any of the proposals we're advancing. So Ashley, if you could begin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. So what I'm showing you today is the Use Your Change for Change campaign. So the following is a summary of the proposed initiatives from the Panhandling Ad Hoc Committee, a summary of research conducted on panhandling, and a proposed campaign to help alleviate panhandling and chronic homelessness. Thank you. Panhandling in Lowell. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development has adopted the goal of ending homelessness by 2020 and has been working to increase the effectiveness of the continuums of care. Panhandling has recently become more prevalent in Lowell, and especially in the downtown area. In the past, Lowell has tried to prohibit panhandling, but now we are focusing on providing service to those in need. These initiatives will work to inform panhandlers about services provided in our community and inform citizens of ways they can help to treat the underlying causes of chronic homelessness. So about panhandling. Panhandling is the solicitation of donations. Panhandlers typically target sympathetic-looking individuals such as couples, women, shoppers, students, and tourist or convention groups. Panhandlers try and situate themselves in areas where they can yield the highest returns. This includes areas where there is high vehicle or pedestrian traffic, as well as areas where shopping or money is transacted. This is the Use Your Change for Change. Instead of prohibiting panhandling, we must try to help these individuals find the services they need. This initiative aims to alleviate panhandling by discouraging citizens from giving money to individual panhandlers, which will encourage those individuals to seek help from the Lowell Continuum of Care and charities. This plan is made up of 3 parts: the Use Your Change for Change campaign, charity donation stations, and the Lowell Continuum of Care and charity partnership. The first being the education campaign. The city will need to reach out to the community through flyers and signs, informing people to not give money to individual panhandlers. A sign holding night was also proposed where community leaders would hold signs conveying the message to give to charities and support the Change for Change mission. This would increase the public's awareness of this campaign. Signs, like the one shown on this slide, could be posted downtown. Flyers such as the one shown here could be posted on the side of every parking kiosk in the city. The first part, the top of the flyer, the viewers clearly sees the city's initiative. The bottom, need help. It is crucial that we inform the public of the services provided in our community. With the need help portion of the flyer, an individual seeking help is able to see the address, phone number, and business hours of these services. Why charity? In this part of the flyer, we communicate the need for change in our community. Donations provided to panhandlers are generally small amounts, which are insufficient in addressing the underlying circumstances surrounding their situation. Lowell has services available at no cost to meet their needs for food, shelter, healthcare, and employment. The next portion is the charity donation stations. San Ysidro, California originally created the idea of refurbishing their old parking meters into charity donation stations. These meters were sponsored by local businesses, and it was paired with their Support Solutions, Not Addictions campaign. 7 meters were placed throughout San Ysidro's downtown area, and this campaign was able to generate $3,500 annually for local charities. The city's parking department is looking into the feasibility of integrating donation stations on city parking kiosks. Online donations would enable those who would like to make larger contributions an outlet to do so. The next portion is the Lowell Continuum of Care and Charity Partnership. Currently, Lowell's Continuum of Care website is geared towards programs seeking funding instead of individuals seeking assistance. An update is needed in order to inform these individuals of the services available, their location, and times of operation. The Charity Partnership. Charities who work with the Lowell Continuum of Care would be the recipients of the donations collected from the Change for Change campaign. Additionally, strengthening the communication between the Continuum of Care and the charities would increase the effectiveness of our Continuum of Care overall. Additionally, we would do street outreach. This is already being facilitated through the police co-op program, which has begun to allow the city to better reach the individuals. It often takes multiple offers of assistance before an individual will accept help. So we did look into the There's a Better Way, which was a great program. This program, which was created by Albuquerque Mayor Richard Berry, set out to give panhandlers the dignity of work, connect those individuals with services, create a collective impact to end panhandling, and help the community understand that there is a better way to give. Day laborers through this program were provided with a lunch, a $9 an hour job for the day, and transportation to a shelter at night. This program has helped 180 individuals find work. The city has posted a total of 47 signs for their 311 helpline, and the city has had 11,016 calls to that line since the program's launch. Astoundingly, the day laborers have removed 98,101 pounds of waste and litter from the city blocks in Albuquerque. To get started, the city invested an initial $50,000 and devoted a city vehicle to the program. Later, the program collected $57,581 from community donations. Because of its success, Albuquerque has made There's a Better Way a budgeted program of $180,000 annually that they will continue to support. Lowell has already incorporated 3 of the 4 major goals of There's a Better Way in the Use Your Change for Change initiative. Those 3 being the Connecting Individuals with Services, which is facilitated through the Lowell's Police Department's co-op program, creating a collective impact to end panhandling, and helping the community understand that there's a better way to give. The final piece of giving these individuals the dignity of work is something that Lowell has been working to implement. Lowell's Career Center has already received grants to work with the Community Teamwork Corporation through their home-based program to help connect homeless individuals with employment. So if we were to implement this plan, we would continue to work on integrating donations into the parking kiosks, coordinate the creation of the parking meter donation stations, work with local charities to discuss the effectiveness of Lowell's Continuum of Care and identify their need for additional support in the face of an increase in program participation. We would print and post the Change for Change flyers, commission city signage to discourage giving to panhandlers, make updates to the Lowell Continuum of Care website, and create a Change for Change website. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, very much. Very well done.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Shea. I think she and Heather did a great job with this presentation. I think it's forward-thinking. It's not going to be an overnight cure, but if the City Council is so inclined to support this initiative, I know we've already talked about it at the Panhandling Commission, is that what I'd like to do is start off with a real public awareness blitz, is maybe one evening that people would volunteer, and I would be one of the first ones to volunteer. I know Councilor Mercier has already talked to me about it, is that we would like go down to the intersection of Central and Merrimack, Central and Market, go up on the Lord Overpass, the places that the panhandlers use right now, and have signs that are fashioned after the Use Your Change for Change slogan, and just start the public awareness campaign to encourage people not to give to the panhandlers, that it's a more long-term solution, is if they were to give to local charities that would really help out the panhandlers. And then from there, we would go on to, we got a lot of parking meters left over after they removed all of them, that we could have private companies in downtown Lowell sponsor it in front of their business, and then collect money and give it to the local charities, also at our kiosks. So, I mean, I think it's a great forward-thinking presentation, and we're looking for the approval of the City Council to proceed with it and to start off with the public awareness campaign. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Before I open it up to my colleagues, I just want to mention that Council Belanger has joined us as well. And we also have in the audience Chris Samaras from the Planning Office, as well as Linda King, who's been very much involved in the homeless issues over the last decade or so here in the city of Lowell. So thank you both for being here as well. With that, do any of my colleagues have any questions? Councilor Rourke.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I apologize for the tardiness. I'm glad to see Councilor Elliott's motion on the Rourke Bridge on for this evening, so we'll talk about it then. So just out of curiosity, you mentioned the Career Center with certain grants. Can you talk about those?
Shannon Norton from the Career Center could probably
Thank you.
address
Thank you
those.
for being here.
Good evening. I anticipated maybe some questions might come up. So we have had some grants. We had one that ended this past spring. It was very successful. We had a 77% employment rate. There was 35 individuals were enrolled, so we were able to get 77% of them. And most of those were full-time, over 35-hour a week jobs. So we do have some grants. We have that program with CTI. That's their secure jobs program. It's not a lot. It only funds a half-time person. And the thing is, if we have universal access, so anybody can become a member of the Career Center. You just need to want to work, and we have to work. And if you want to address your barriers, we'll help you address the barriers that you have. Could be transportation, it could be substance abuse. We have partner organizations that we make referrals out to. Our job is to eliminate all the barriers and then find you employment. So if there's any questions,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one more.
Yes.
So, Mr. Manager, in your time as manager or even previous, are you aware of any outreach that happened before this proposed program to panhandlers that maybe didn't know how to look for work, that that would outreach to them to see if they actually were interested in working?
Do I know of any outreach programs? No, I don't. But the co-op program is doing a great job with the outreach to the individuals and trying to get the services to them and direct them to a place like the Career Center if they're interested in work.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Chairman.
Thank you. I have a question, if it's okay with my colleagues, probably to Michael. Do you know whether or not the program that is in Albuquerque has ever been challenged by anybody, be it the ACLU or any program that would deal with free speech issues, I guess?
No, I'm not aware of any challenges that have been made. And the basic point is that the city is also a speaker, and it has rights to, opine on various issues, and especially where it's basically an outreach program. Mm-hmm. The other components that Ashley discussed, putting up signs to advocate giving to charities, are also well within the city's First Amendment rights.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions? Counselor Elliott, the maker of the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for taking up this motion. And I appreciate the administration looking into it. I do think this presentation, the approach is going to work. I think it addresses panhandling from a variety of angles, and I think that's what it takes. I mean, I think the speaker just mentioned it earlier, whether it's substance abuse or homeless or down in their luck. There are different reasons why people are out panhandling, and I think it does require a different approach to each individual. And I appreciate you looking at this, because I firmly believe that there is a percentage of individuals that would like to work. They'd like to get a job. For whatever reasons, they can't. But maybe it's a step in the right direction to start them on the right track. I think educating the public that there is a better way, and that's through donations. But look, we all make. I'm guilty of it. You make the decision. I think we've all done it. It's an impulse that when we see somebody who's down in their luck, we want to help them out. We're human beings. That's the nature of humanity. We don't know whether they're veterans or mothers or whatever the case may be, but we want to help our fellow man and our fellow woman. So it's the way. To me, it's just the way that we are. And even to this day, when you see somebody, it's raining, it's freezing cold out, or they just they look like they're really just having a tough time. You want to help them out. So I think this is a very good step in the direction, and I'm pleased to hear. I was going to suggest, Mr. Manager, CTI, who has the resources and already, certain people in place or a structure in place to sort of take this on, and maybe if it catches on, they apply for block grant money, or there's other funds out there. So I thank you for the presentation, and I think this shows this city council is compassionate, and we want to help people. But by the same token, we have to protect the downtown and the rights of everyone else that lives here, too. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Councilor Elliott. Councilor Samaras?
Thank you. No, and thank you for this report. I think over the years, literally every city councilor has talked about this in one fashion or another. And of course, there have been many of our citizens have been concerned, does this city council take it seriously? As Councilor Elliott just stated, we've always taken this very seriously. But I think an important part of this program is to educate the public, and to educate the public that we truly are trying to ameliorate this problem, and that we've developed means of doing that, and we need their cooperation. So I support this plan, because I think it's the right way to go. We are showing that we're compassionate, but we're also showing that there is a need to address the issue. There are many, different directions a program like this can go. We actually have tried punishment, not punishment, to use law in our favor, and we then step on people's rights, and that's unintentionally, not with any intention, but we've done that in the past, or according to the courts we have. I don't think we ever have. But this report, I want to congratulate you for this report. This is a lot of good research, and it gives us an idea of how we can solve this problem. So I want to thank you for that. Thank you, Department, for all the work you've done. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Samaras. Anyone else like to be heard? Councilor Belanger.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A little different from this perspective, but thank you, Mr. Chairman. This has been a very interesting topic to this council, and as Councilor Samaras alluded to, previous councils before us. It's a very prevalent issue, and I think this is an outstanding campaign in many, many ways. We now know from evidence-based material that, that we believe that by giving to panhandlers, in many cases, you're enabling them and not helping them. Okay, many, but not all. We know many are down on their luck, but from visiting homeless encampments, we now know that the police know the faces, and we now know that drug and alcohol use is rampant in homeless encampments. So that sort of tells us that, you know, some of this money that they're getting is going towards their substance abuse issues, and that's not giving them a hand up as they need. So we have that issue, as well as, you know, it's a quality of life issue that we've all heard on the council from residents, whether we go to the supermarket, wherever it is, we've all been confronted. You know, I can't go to one block to the next without being confronted. You know, unfortunately, a small number of them have become overly aggressive. To women in general, I've gotten many complaints myself, as sticking their head in automobiles, opening car doors in the middle of traffic. I've seen it, I've heard it. So I think this will help change that culture, that the city of Lowell is, and the message is quite clear, it's not saying don't give. It's saying let's give to those resources and outlets that will help these people in substance abuse, mental abuse, and home, putting meals on the table for them. Whether you're going to give $5 or $10 a year, let's put it in a parking kiosk, or let's send a check to the Lowell Transitional Living Center, wherever it may be. We'll pick a handful of resources, but I think this is a great, great marketing campaign, Mr. Manager. I want to congratulate you and your staff, and Ashley and Heather. I think it's well done. It helped change. This will help change the culture again over time. There's no overnight solution, but I support it 100%. I think it will take us to where we need to be in a fairly short amount of time. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Council Belanger. At this time, the chair would entertain a motion, if I could. Council
I
Leahy.
just want to say thank you to Ashley and Heather, Manager. This is a great report. So we're going to vote on this tonight?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Chair recognizes Council Rourke.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to bring this to the City Council for this evening for a vote of acceptance.
So recommendation from the subcommittee to accept as presented. Second?
Second.
Roll call? Yes.
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 Thank you. With that being said, I too want to thank the administration. Did a very good, comprehensive job, and we certainly, I believe, will support this later on this evening, and you all can get to work on implementing it. So, thank you so much. Councilor Mercier.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the city manager, do we know when this is we're gonna start something on this? Because this is very instrumental in helping, at the same time trying to tell people that there's a better way to help people. I don't know anybody that doesn't have compassion for a family that needs help, someone standing on the street asking for help. I understand that, but I understand the plight of the business owner that puts his heart and soul and blood into a business, and he's not functioning properly because his clientele is coming in being met by people that are shaking him down, so to speak, and that's not fair to them. So as much as we have rules and the ACLU that says, hey, freedom of speech, this is countering our freedom of speech, that yes, we know that you need help, and this is how we're going to do it. So there's a change for change. So this is a great compilation of beautiful information, and I just want to know, when can we start this? Because I'm willing to stand out there with a sign, and I'm going to smile and say, just smile if you have no change, but if you have, give it to the Salvation Army or to the Transitional Living Center. That's what it's all about. We're fighting them at their own game, the ACLU, because I think it's aggressive panhandling when a 19-year-old kid on a Sunday afternoon goes into an ATM machine and two panhandlers come in and shakes them down for money. That's a shakedown. That's a crime, in my opinion. When a woman gets into her car to go into the parking garage and there's two there waiting for money, is she going to say, gee, I don't have any, in fear that they'll double, hit her or whatever? So she gives. That, to me, is against the law, but ACLU says they have rights. They don't have a right to intimidate good people or young people that are getting money out of their ATM machine, or the elderly, or anybody else for that matter. So this is a good program, this is a good proposal, and I'm very happy to support it. I just want to know when.
Thank you, Councilor Mercier. Mr. Manager?
Today, I requested DPD and DPW to put together 20 signs on wood so that we can hold them. I would anticipate probably within a week, I'll be contacting everybody in the council and everybody on the Panhandling Commission, and we'll set up locations for people to stand.
Put me down to Green Street with Smiley. I want to stand with him.
And the reason I want to do it quickly is because it's getting darker.
Right, exactly.
So I want to make sure they see us when we're out there,
dark.
and cold.
Right, thank you. Before we adjourn, do any members of the public want to address the subcommittee on this issue? Again, please feel free. If not, I, again, will close by thanking Ashley and Rodney and Michael and the team for putting this together. Thank again the administration, and to thank the members of the ad hoc committee that we do have working on this panhandling homelessness issue. It's just very important. It speaks volumes about the community, the city as a community to, give back and provide the right services for the most needy in our city. So with that being said, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second? All those in favor? We stand adjourned. Thank you. Thank you all.